Hello, hello. This is part one, number one, first of I Wannabe Homesteading. And so I've been here about a year. Let me just show you what I did yesterday. Boom. Filled that all up. And I am on a new place. And I didn't really plant much last year because I didn't know what kind of, how the sun is here and what the weather is like and what would do well here. So I just kind of held off to watch what the season would do. So I'm coming upon my first year on my little urban homestead. And so I'm seeing how things are growing, and I got my garden all planned out in my head. And last year, when we moved here, let me show you my secret garden. I guess it's not a secret anymore if you guys know. So this is the property line, but I also have this. Last year, this was all dirt. And this here, I just cleaned it up. That was in that yard waste that I just showed you. But this is what it looked like. You see all that? It's taller than me. And then this magnificent looking tree is a fig tree. And so there used to be right here a shed. So we removed the shed. This fig tree just kind of grew around it over these years. And so now I put up a new shed. And this is going to be my office. And so I figured I am just going to bring you guys along for a ride, because I'm going to get this shed and I want to make it off-grid. And so I'm just going to try different things. I'm going to experiment and see what is going to be good and inexpensive. Single mama here, and so I don't have the wherewithal. I'm only like 4'10", and my hands are kind of small. So power tools and stuff are just kind of a little bit too powerful for me. And so I'm just gonna try to learn as I go and see what I could do. I forgot to bring my keys. I was gonna show you inside, but it's just a blank slate in here. It's just studs. And I was thinking about different ways to insulate it and just outfit it. And so the way I chose this location is it has the tree on this side and there's trees and bushes on this side, so it has shade for most of the part of the day, except for right there, high noon, it'll get sun. So for the most part, this shed stays cool even in the hottest of hottest days out here in the summer. And you know, I'm in sunny California, and I have been wanting to homestead for evs. And so I figured, even though I'm living in the city, that I could still do what I could do. In one of the homes I was in, my thing was to try to have a garden that was available all year long. And so I did container gardening, square foot gardening. If you live in the city, that is just fantastic. It's a big thing now, but 25 years ago, square foot gardening or container gardening wasn't really a thing. But it was so easy as one square foot got harvested to just replant that one. And I was able to feed my family easily with that. And I had 6 different kind of apple trees that ripened at different months from July till November. And so that was, I had that. And then I had the plum tree that was ripe in June, and then an orange tree that was ripe in like April, and then my lemon tree all year long, which was fantastic. And then we had pomegranates that were ripened in the fall around Christmas time. So we were having fruit all the time. And I had thornless raspberries, which was wonderful. And those actually had 2 seasons. It was in the fall and early spring. And I had an asparagus bed that started coming up in January. And so I pretty much had fresh produce coming up all year long. And then I ended up moving from there to another place that It was a bigger house, but less yard. It was more cement. And I had some raised beds there, but that was just a really, really busy time of my life, and I didn't get to commit to it. But now I'm out here in the country, and I am going to do it again. And so I figured, you know what, if I'm going to start from scratch and just start working on the things that I'm doing, I might as well bring you guys along for the ride. And so for people who are just starting out, just wanting to garden, you don't have to wait until you get everything perfect. Just do it. So I have a spot over here, and the original owner had it as a little edging right there. So I figured, you know what, I will start using that first. And so my son dug down about 6 to 9 inches, and I'll show you what I planted there. So I had some potatoes that I was storing in my pantry, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's warmer here, but I used to get potatoes, and I would get it at the farmer's market. No, not the farmer's market, a farmer. And I would buy 50 pounds of potatoes, and those would last, if I put them in my garage, in a nice cool garage, they lasted for months. I could have them for at least 4 months, because I would always go in December when he was shutting everything down, and then buy a couple of 50-pound bags, and I'd keep them all the way till Easter. And so when I moved in this house, I bought some potatoes and I put it in the pantry, and just, I don't know, but look what happened to them. Do you see that? Do you see that? That's ridiculous. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go plant these. And so there's a section that I still need to do over there, and that is why we dug down about 9 inches. And we just got these bad boys. Let me see if I could get one. And we just kept them intact and dug down about 9 inches. Oop, I broke it. And so usually I would cut them up, but do you see this? Instead of throwing it away, we dug down 9 inches, planted it, and made sure everything was covered. And within 3 days, it sprouted little leaves, and then I put on another 2 inches, and then by the end of the day, it sprouted through that. And so it's been a full week now. And what I showed you, that bed over there, was those potatoes. So if you guys don't have a big yard, you could use a flower pot, a 5-gallon bucket from Home Depot, and just drill little holes in it. And if you don't have a drill, just get a hammer and just like knock a hole in there. But you could see, do you see the leaves popping up there? I just covered it last night, and it's already coming through. And so right here is my russets. Over here are my reds and Yukon Golds. And then we're going to finish digging out the other part of that. And so I need to finish back there in my secret garden and get the rest of the poisonous hemlock, which I thought was parsley based on my plant identifier. And so don't trust that, folks. So I need to get the rest of that poisonous hemlock, which just grew this spring, because when I was here all last year, we moved in July, there was nothing there except for some fennel. But after this winter and this rain, it grew like crazy. Did you see? It was taller than me. So that is going to be my project, is clear that out on both sides. And then I want to finish planting my potatoes. And I have a garden that I've started. Oh, here they are. So if you guys don't have all the fancy stuff, you don't need fancy things to start propagating your garden. See right here? This is one of those muffin containers from Costco. And so I put my seeds in here. And so this is my anasazi, and these are some flowers and some other ones. And here's my other ones. These are my pole beans. These are sunflowers. This is butternut squash. So you don't have to be fancy. I just got some of those peat little peat pellet guys. And I just had that, so that's what I use. But if you don't have it, go ahead and you could use potting soil. Go to the dollar store. Do not let money stop you. I mean, dollar store, you could get enough soil to put in one of these containers. You could put it in and like I said, the dollar store also has little flower pots there too that you could start it. And so it's just beautiful. If you want to, you could just plant one thing. Just try one thing. Throw a potato in there. Everybody's got a potato and they start getting those little eyes on it. Put it in there and just try it and just water it. It's a really beautiful green plant. Sweet potatoes are different, as in they don't grow underground like potatoes do. I mean, take it back. They do grow underground, but they're not propagated like potatoes. They're propagated by slips. Potatoes are propagated by those little, the eyes that are on there. And so that was something that I am learning right now. I have my sweet potatoes taking root, and I'm going to start getting the slips, and I have to figure out where to put that because they vine. They have vines that grow up. And so I have a fence over here, and I'm thinking about putting the sweet potatoes there. And so the vines will grow up. And the leaves of sweet potatoes are edible. So I'm looking forward to having that and putting that in my salad. I have some lettuce outside right now. I got some strawberries from my old place, but I need to find a place for these guys. I set up a garden in the front, but I think it's a little bit too shady. So I have to look around here and see what I'm going to do for that. And I have an orange tree in the front that's just in the middle of my driveway area. And so I think I'm going to put it back here behind my deck. Well, I'll bring you along for a ride when all that's going on, but I just wanted to show you what's starting on the homestead because I want to be homesteading. And this is as close as I'm going to get right now. So might as well just do it. And the other things that I like doing, and I have been doing for over 30 years, is making my own tinctures and teas and salves and lotions, especially for medicinal purposes. I have a lot of kids, and so we've tried to do things as naturally as possible. And so with 13 kids, I only had 5 earaches, and one of them was with one child twice. So we've already combated the earache cycle. We were able to take care of that. And I have some other things that I wanted to share with you that we've learned along the way. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give you medical advice, but I have learned different things that were helpful when we just could not get to the doctors, like during Christmas. One time my son lost a filling, and so I filled his cavity, and I will show you that product. That'll probably be my next video. And when I did it, the doctors were really impressed. The dentists are like, "Who did this?" I'm like, I did. It's like, "You did a really good job." I'm like, "Thank you, I've been watching you." That's the other thing I do, is whenever I go to the doctors and stuff, I just kind of watch them, and I just love learning. So that was something that I did. But anyways, my name is Margie Lee, and I want to be homesteading. And so thanks for joining me, and I just hope that we could just have a great journey together. Have a wonderful day. Bye.